Welcome back. This is 5 Minutes with Jesus and Jesse. Today I want to talk about accepting the assignment. And when this idea came to me, the first person I thought of was Moses. So we're going to dive deep into how Moses accepted his assignment from God. At this time, the Israelites lived in Egypt, and the Israelites were becoming overpopulated in the eyes of Pharaoh. So the king of Egypt put out a decree saying any Hebrew baby born had to be killed. So Moses' mother put Moses in a basket in the Nile River, and he was found by Pharaoh's daughter. So Moses was essentially raised in Pharaoh's house. Moses had a run-in with an Egyptian man who was beating a Hebrew man, and Moses stuck up for him. Moses ended up killing this Egyptian man and burying him. The Pharaoh caught wind of Moses committing this crime, and so Moses fled to Midian. When Moses was in Midian, he meets his wife. Several years pass, Pharaoh dies. At this time, God calls Moses. God says to Moses in Exodus 3 verse 10, "So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." So Moses was given his assignment. So now go. That is what God told him to do. Go to Egypt, go to Pharaoh, and you are going to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. Now, for a man who is essentially a fugitive on the run in a different country, who was hiding from the late Pharaoh, and who was a Hebrew who should have been killed from the day he was born, his task now is to go back to the land where he was raised and to lead his oppressed people out of this country. So if you think of anyone who heard their assignment and said, "I definitely don't want to do that," it had to be Moses. There are a number of reassurances that God gives Moses to encourage him to accept the assignment. That is what I want to focus on today. So in Exodus 3 verses 11, Moses says to God, "Who am I?" How many of us have gotten an assignment and said, "Who am I? Why would you choose me? Why do you want me? Please pick someone else. Who am I?" And God says, "I will be with you." God gives another reassurance to Moses in Exodus 3 verses 14. He says, "I am who I am." He is sovereign, he is Lord, he is powerful, he is worthy. Throughout the rest of chapter 3, God gives more reassurance to Moses. And in chapter 4, Moses says, "What if they do not believe me?" So God provides signs for Moses, these signs that he can perform, he can do to show that the Lord is with him, the Lord is who sent him. And still Moses is in this denial. He says, "I am slow of speech and tongue," and God says, "Now go. I will help you speak and I will teach you what to say." So after all of this, Moses still pleads with him, "Don't choose me, please send someone else." The Lord said, "I will help you and I will teach you what to do." Moses came up with every excuse to not accept this assignment. But God comes right back and says, "Here's all the ways that I'm going to help you." I think what's important to learn from this story and what we can all take is that God did not call Moses because he was capable. God called Moses because he was going to have to be completely dependent on him. Several times throughout these passages, you get this underlying feeling that Moses says, "I am not enough." And it's the same excuses that we come up with today. I'm not smart enough. I'm not qualified. Fill in the blank. I'm not blank enough to do what it is that you're calling me to. God says in 2 Corinthians 12:9, "My grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness." And Moses is a great example. All of Moses' weaknesses that he pointed out, God said, "My power will be enough for you to do what I've asked you to do." More times than not, if God is calling you to an assignment, he's calling you because you're not good enough on your own. You have to be dependent on him in order to do whatever it is he's asking you to do. When God's calling you to assignment, we just need to say yes. We need to do whatever it is He is asking us to do, because through these assignments, our faith grows. Through these assignments, we truly learn how to be dependent on Him. Proverbs 4 verses 10 and 11 say, "Listen, my son, accept what I say, and the years of your life will be many. I instruct you in the way of wisdom and lead you along straight paths." This is the key to safety and prosperity. Accept what He says. He will instruct you. He will lead you along straight paths, and the years of your life will be many. What more could you want?